Welcome, fellow truth seekers, to the True Alien Podcast,
Ooh,
your daily dose of the strange, the unexplained, and the downright bizarre.
out there.
Today, we're plunging into a truly unsettling story
Oh, yeah.
from the heart of small-town America, a place called Harmony Creek. We delve into real stories of aliens, abductions, UFOs, paranormal encounters, Bigfoot, and all those things that make you go,
All the good stuff.
We're here to have fun, explore the unknown, and try to separate the out there, from the totally made up. Joining me, as always, is our resident paranormal probe expert, the one and only Julia Jones.
Hey, everyone. Ready to put on our tinfoil hats and dig into some more mind-bending mysteries.
Oh, yeah.
I've got my paranormal Geiger counter ready.
Oh, I love it.
I'm here to offer a skeptical but open-minded perspective on the truly weird stuff we uncover. Gotta keep those feet on the ground, at least 1 foot on the ground.
Absolutely. Before we launch into this paranormal probe, don't forget to rate and follow the True Alien Podcast wherever you get your podcasts. Your support helps us bring you more of these mind-bending stories. Today, we're investigating the strange happenings in Harmony Creek, nestled in the Appalachian foothills.
Spooky.
On the surface, it seemed like a classic, charming American town. But you, our listener, will soon discover that beneath this idyllic facade, something sinister was brewing. Our mission today is to unpack the initial signs of this strangeness and the event that really kicked things off. So you, our listener, are about to hear about Sheriff Brody Tanner, a seasoned lawman in Harmony Creek.
Okay.
Now, this wasn't a place known for much excitement.
Right.
But Sheriff Tanner started to get this nagging feeling that something just wasn't right. It started subtly with the town experiencing this sudden economic upturn.
Okay.
We're talking about a real shift fueled by these wealthy newcomers who just seemed to materialize, bringing with them an almost unnerving sense of perfection. It wasn't just a few extra businesses opening up the whole atmosphere. The town seemed to change almost overnight. What were your initial thoughts when you read about this sudden influx of wealth? Does that immediately raise any red flags for you in a small community?
It absolutely does. When you see a small established community suddenly experience a significant and seemingly unexplained economic boom, it's natural to wonder about the source. As humans, we tend to look for causality. Where did this money come from? What are these newcomers doing? Are their intentions purely benign?
Yeah.
The description of them as too perfect is particularly telling. It suggests a lack of the usual human flaws and complexities that we expect. This kind of anomaly can definitely create a sense of unease and suspicion, which Sheriff Tanner seems to have picked up on. It makes you think about those stories where a seemingly idyllic facade hides something much darker.
Exactly. And it wasn't just a vague feeling of unease that Sheriff Tanner was dealing with. Soon, these subtle shifts were followed by more tangible oddities. We're talking about livestock vanishing without a trace from local farms. Imagine waking up and finding your entire flock or herd just gone. No signs of struggle, no tracks leading away, just empty fields. And then, coinciding with these disappearances, residents started reporting seeing strange lights in the night skylights that moved in ways that conventional aircraft couldn't. On top of that, there were whispers, hushed conversations about shadowy figures seen lurking in the dense woods surrounding Harmony Creek. These weren't just isolated incidents. They seemed to be happening with increasing frequency. As someone who looks at these kinds of reports, what strikes you as significant about this particular sequence of events?
What's fascinating here is the escalation and the variety of the reported phenomena.
Yeah.
Missing livestock is a classic element in both paranormal and more earthly explanations, think predators or even rustling. But when you combine that with unusual aerial phenomena and reports of shadowy figures, it starts to paint a more complex picture.
Right.
The lights in the sky, especially if described as moving erratically or silently, often fuel speculation about unidentified flying objects. And the shadowy figures add a layer of potential threat or unknown presence.
Right.
The key here is how these seemingly disparate events begin to coalesce into a narrative of something out of the ordinary happening in Harmony Creek.
It's the
cumulative effect that would likely raise the alarm for a seasoned lawman like Sheriff Tanner. You start to look for connections where initially you might have dismissed each incident individually.
Yeah, and that's precisely what started happening.
Yeah.
The longtime residents of Harmony Creek, the folks who knew the rhythms of the town, they felt it. They knew this wasn't normal. But the event that really kicked things into high gear, the catalyst that pushed Sheriff Tanner to actively investigate, was the disappearance of Old Man Hemlock.
Oh boy.
Now, Hemlock was a bit of a recluse, the town hermit, who lived out in the local caves. He is known for his knowledge of those caves and for telling strange, often unsettling tales about the area. He wasn't exactly the most popular guy in town, kept to himself, mostly, but he was a fixture. He was part of the landscape, so to speak.
I gotcha.
For him to just vanish,
Yeah.
that was different. That felt significant, like a piece of the puzzle had gone missing in a very deliberate way.
Why do you think Hemlock's disappearance acted as such a trigger for Sheriff Tanner?
Hemlock's disappearance is a crucial turning point for several reasons. Firstly, as the local eccentric and keeper of strange lore, he's already associated with the unusual. So if strange things are happening in Harmony Creek and he suddenly goes missing, it creates a potential link. Did he see something? Did he know too much? Was he a target because of his knowledge?
Oh.
Secondly, hermits by their nature often leave traces. For Hemlock to vanish without any sign suggests something out of the ordinary beyond him simply deciding to move on. Finally, his connection to the local caves adds another layer of intrigue.
Caves are often associated with the unknown, with hidden spaces and secrets. The fact that Hemlock knew these caves well and then disappears raises the possibility that his disappearance is somehow connected to these subterranean spaces and the strange tales he used to tell. It gives Sheriff Tanner a specific place to start looking, a tangible element to focus his investigation on beyond the more ephemeral reports of lights and shadows.
Absolutely. And those caves become incredibly important as the story unfolds. Hemlock knew them, and now he's gone possibly into them. So for this paranormal probe, we're focusing on this initial unsettling atmosphere that enveloped Harmony Creek. The two perfect newcomers, the vanishing livestock, the eerie lights, the shadowy figures, all culminating in the truly unsettling disappearance of Old Man Hemlock and his mysterious connection to the local cave system.
It's like laying the groundwork.
We want you, our listener, to really grasp the subtle clues, the growing sense that something was deeply amiss, even before the unbelievable truth began to surface. This wasn't some dramatic, in-your-face alien invasion to start.
Right.
It was this slow, creeping sense of wrongness, punctuated by the very human mystery of a missing, albeit eccentric member of the community. What to you is the most compelling aspect of these initial stages of the Harmony Creek mystery? What detail really grabs your attention?
For me, it's the way the narrative builds layer by layer. You have the initial economic oddity, which creates a subtle sense of something being off. Then you have the more overt, classic paranormal tropes, missing animals, UFO sightings, shadowy figures, which escalate the feeling of strangeness. And finally, you have the very personal and grounded mystery of Hemlock's disappearance, which provides a focal point for investigation. This gradual unfolding makes the story feel more believable, more relatable, even as it delves into the bizarre.
Right.
It allows us to connect with Sheriff Tanner's growing unease. He's not reacting to one outlandish event. He's seeing a pattern emerge, a series of anomalies that can't be easily dismissed.
Right.
The human element of Hemlock's disappearance linked to the mysterious local caves is what truly intrigues me and makes me want to know what Sheriff Tanner finds next.
So you've journeyed with us through the initial strange occurrences in Harmony Creek. The unsettling perfection of the newcomers, the baffling loss of livestock, the enigmatic lights dancing in the sky, the fleeting glimpses of shadowy figures, all leading to the undeniably peculiar vanishing act of Old Man Hemlock. We've traced Sheriff Tanner's mounting unease, that gut feeling that screamed something was profoundly wrong in his seemingly peaceful town. As our resident paranormal probe expert, considering these initial events, the economic shift, the missing animals, the aerial phenomena, the hermit's disappearance, what are your preliminary thoughts? Do these align with typical patterns you see in paranormal claims? Or could there be more down-to-earth explanations at this stage?
Well,
What specific element strikes you as the most potentially significant clue in this early part of the mystery?
at this early stage, it's crucial to maintain a degree of skepticism while still acknowledging the intriguing nature of the reported events. While missing livestock and strange lights can sometimes be attributed to natural predators, misidentified aerial objects, or even hoaxes, the combination of these occurrences, coupled with the sudden influx of wealthy and too perfect newcomers, creates a more compelling scenario. Hemlock's disappearance, given his reclusive nature and connection to the local caves, adds a particularly unsettling dimension. It moves beyond random incidents and suggests a potential link between the strangeness and an individual.
Oh, yeah.
Could there be mundane explanations?
Yeah.
Possibly. Perhaps the economic boom attracted some unsavory elements who are behind the livestock disappearances. Maybe the lights were military exercises kept under wraps.
Right.
Hemlock could have simply wandered off or met with an accident in the wilderness. However, Sheriff Tanner's intuition combined with the escalating strangeness and Hemlock's knowledge of the caves, places often associated with local legends and hidden histories, makes me lean towards something more unusual being at play. The detail that stands out most to me is the too-perfect nature of the newcomers.
I agree.
That deliberate descriptor suggests a level of artificiality that often hints at something being concealed.
Sheriff Tanner's investigation into Hemlock's disappearance led him directly into the labyrinthine caves surrounding Harmony Creek. And what he encountered within those dark, echoing depths, well, that's where our story takes a turn from unsettling to truly mind-bending.
Dun dun dun.
Join us for our next paranormal probe as we descend with Sheriff Tanner into the darkness and begin to uncover the shocking secret hidden beneath the seemingly idyllic surface of Harmony Creek.
Can't wait.
Think about it. Have you ever experienced a subtle shift in your own environment, an almost imperceptible change that just felt off? Perhaps a new neighbor who seems a little too friendly, a strange sound you can't quite identify, or a minor inconsistency in your daily routine. Could those seemingly insignificant anomalies be the first threads unraveling a much larger stranger tapestry beneath the surface of your own reality? What would it take for you to move beyond that initial unease and start digging deeper into the unexplained?
It certainly makes you consider the things we often dismiss as mere quirks or coincidences. Perhaps there's a hidden layer to our everyday lives that we rarely glimpse.
Until our next paranormal probe, keep your eyes on the skies and maybe those seemingly perfect neighbors.
Definitely keep an eye on them.
This has been the True Alien Podcast.